In this next module, we're going to look at the duties that need to be carried out during an examination. Throughout the exam, all invigilators must devote their complete attention to the supervision of students and remain aware of emerging situations. Invigilators should move around the exam venue quietly and at frequent intervals without causing any disturbance. Chiefs will also instruct assistants to carry out other duties while the exam is underway. Now, these may include counting the number of students in the venue, collecting, counting and sorting attendance slips and ID declarations, collecting exam materials from empty desks, escorting students to the bathroom and recording when the student takes a toilet break. It is important to note that students cannot leave the venue during the first 30 minutes of the exam working time, and this also applies to toilet breaks. You may need to attend to exam paper queries. You may also need to hand out additional exam booklets, and you will need to attend to late arrivals permitted to sit the exam. This training covers a lot of what you should do as an exam invigilator, but on the flip side, it is very important to know what is not acceptable. There are very much common sense, but still worth mentioning nonetheless. Now, please do not sit in the venue and carry out work such as reading, playing on your mobile phone, knitting, or using the computer inside the exam venue. Please also don't talk with other invigilators unless it's absolutely essential and work-related. Please do not leave the venue to do non-invigilation related errands or have coffee or cigarette breaks. Chiefs should always remain in the venue unless there is an emergency situation. Now, please do not disturb a student when you suspect them of cheating by standing directly in front of them. You should always observe any suspicious behaviour from a distance. Lastly, please do not panic if an emergency situation or an unexpected event occurs. Okay, if a student queries the possible accuracy or ambiguity of a question on an exam paper, the invigilator must not under any circumstance offer an interpretation of the question. The invigilator should undertake the following steps. You must inform the student that they should continue with the other questions on the exam paper until a ruling is sought. Now, if present, the course convener should be asked for a ruling or try to reach them on the contact number provided on the exam envelope if they're not in the venue. Details of any ruling given by a course convener should be written on the exam incident report and communicated to the exam centre immediately, as the same exam may be taking place in other venues. Now, in the absence of a course convener, the exam centre should be contacted to obtain that ruling. This student exam paper query form should be completed for each separate query raised during the exam. These must be returned to the chief to the exam centre along with all other exam materials which will be made available to the course convener. Now, to ensure a violation of exam paper security does not occur, it is very important that all invigilators are familiar with the exam invigilation manual and the correct procedures that need to be followed in the event of an interruption. And this could include a power failure or a fire. Now, in all cases, the chief, in consultation with the exam centre, will give direction to the assistants and the students. Any incidences that arise, no matter how small, must be recorded on the appropriate incident report form by the Chief Invigilator. And these incidents might include students suspected of cheating, a course convener who changes instructions for an exam. Now, if this occurs, please ensure you notify the exam centre immediately of the changes. Could be an error on the paper, could be a late start of the exam, could be noise outside the exam venue, or even a disruption in the exam venue. Now, further details on incident report forms will be explained again in further detail in the Chief Invigilator Specifics module. This now concludes Module 4, and again, below you'll find the textual content and a short test. Once again, this must be completed before moving on to the next module to make sure that you fully understand what we've just covered.